Remember, kids, don't walk while black. Howdy, y'all. I'm Adam, the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome because you voted on it. You asked for it. Welcome to my reviews of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the latest of MCU slop. And I say MCU because this thing has MCU all over it. Bottom line, we're going to get into this. This first episode, it's not the woke disaster that we were preparing for, but it's not great. It's not great. Its worst crime is that it's uncreative, it's boring, and there is a little bit of the wokey racisms in there. It's in there. I'm going to get to a scene with Lonnie Lincoln that you're just going to go, really? Really? So we're going to go through this. It shouldn't take too long. I know I say that, and these things end up taking 20 to 25 minutes when I try to do a fast and dirty review like this with no cutting clips or anything, because it's only 27 minutes long. It's really about 24, 25 minutes in the end. But we're going to try and get through this. No clips are necessary because not a lot happens in these tiny little episodes that they put out. Right, so we begin with the prologue, where Peter is going to be late for school because he slept late because he isn't Spider-Man yet. He's going to be late for school, so he misses the bus. And then sort of milfy Aunt May, who has man hands and man face, is going to show up and give him a ride. And right away, we've got a problem here because he calls her May. So we're pulling from the MCU Tom Holland Spider-Man, where he just calls her May. They're trying to do a knockoff of what they did, making her hot in the MCU, but it's really not working. It's not working. And also, we have a major problem here narratively. Once again, Uncle Ben not there. Once again, Peter Parker is going to become Spider-Man without the influence of Uncle Ben in his life. This is a problem. I know they sort of made it work with when they had Marissa Tomei die in No Way Home to kind of turn the page for Tom Holland's Spider-Man, to have that sacrificial moment. But they had to go a long way to get there. That should be the beginning. Great power, great responsibility. That should be the beginning, the cornerstone of Peter Parker Spider-Man. But it isn't. It was not in the MCU, not really, and it's not here now. So we just have a kid who's going to be happy to have superpowers and is horny for his butch-looking love of his life, who isn't even really a character. We'll get to that. Trust me, we'll get there. Right. So Man-Hands May. Oh, that's it. We're going to call her Man-Hands May. Man-Hands May is going to pick him up, drop him off, and we get the hint that, of course, Ben has died. They make sure to show off she's wearing her wedding ring, blah, blah, blah. And he's going to arrive because he's going to this super high-tech special high school for smart people in New York, and he's so excited to be there. But right as he gets there, the inciting incident begins, where a portal opens up. A multiversal portal opens up in the sky, and what is very clearly a symbiote-infused monster drops down and starts to wreak havoc, followed by a Benedict Cumberbatch-voiced Doctor Strange. And here's where this is a glaring problem with this episode. I was more interested in what was going on with Doctor Strange in this battle than I am with the rest of the show as Spider-Man. And remember, you may be new to the channel, you may not be, but you have to understand, Spider-Man, my favorite superhero. I've been reading, watching, playing Spider-Man stuff for 30 plus years, and I usually find a way to enjoy it. I don't see myself enjoying this. I am more interested in Doctor Strange. Point is, this battle that Strange has with the symbiote, it's more entertaining than anything else in this episode, and it was a good fight. It was not a bad fight. I give him credits on that. Good little fight. Had Cumberbatch clearly brought it a little bit in the VA work. He brought a little bit. It was entertaining. And then they get him out of it because he realizes he's not in his world. He's in a multiverse situation. So he's got to get the symbiote out of there. But during the battle, which this makes no sense whatsoever, but they just wanted to do it because they think it's clever. You see a spider come down on a thread from the portal and is hanging there through the portal. So let's take a moment here and think about this. Symbiote monster fell through the portal. Strange flew through the portal. What is this spider, wherever it came from, whatever its source is, what is it dangling from that its thread is just happily existing through the swirling multiverse portal? Somebody explain this to me. You can't, because they didn't think that far ahead because they're morons. Anyway, after the whole fight is done, Strange is going to pull the monster back through. The portal's going to close, but oh no, the spider was still hanging into this multiverse world, and it gets cut off, and it falls to the ground, and it scurries around, lands on Peter's neck. And we've seen this clip. We've talked about it in other streams as he's being introduced to Asian girl who's a real character in Marvel, and a Nico, Nako, Mako, Wako, Ching Chang, don't care, don't know, don't really mind. But either way, she's going to be talking to him, introducing herself. He's going to get bit, and he's going to instantly pass out. Now, that's kind of a new thing in all the Spider-Man lore. Whenever Peter gets bit, it's a process. It's not, oh, I pass out instantly. Oh, my God. And the spider doesn't die after the bite. It scurries away onto somebody else's backpack, and I bet dollars to freaking donuts. You don't see it. You don't see anything. I will bet it's a Miles freaking Morales intro right there. That spider's still running around in there. It's going to bite somebody else. It's going to bite Miles Morales. Swear to God. You know they want to freaking do that. You know it. Anyway, so the spider lived. It's crawled in somebody else's backpack. And Peter then passes out. Manhand's May shows up. She's still there after dropping him off, and we now get a time skip to a few months later. He's no longer he's not going to be going to fancy high school. He's going to be going to regular high school, who apparently everybody else who was going to go to this fancy high school is going to go to the regular high school with him too, I guess. I don't know. And he wakes up, and he's already got his powers. Oh, I'm sorry. Between this, we got the intro. The rap hip-hop infested intro, which is dog shit. Horrible. Where they try to make it appear that this I'm going to say it, this ghetto costume that Peter's wearing for his Spider-Man outfit is okay because it sort of appears in a semi-comic book little rectangle. You see the top of the cover, that kind of thing. Oh, look, we can make it look legitimate. Yay. I have a problem with this costume, too. We'll get that in a second. So Peter's going to wake up and, he's going to be late again. But no, this time he's okay because he's got his spider abilities. He's been Spider-Man for a few months now. And he's going to miss the train because he gets hit by a car and he's perfectly fine. And then he's going to suit up. And there was a gag with oatmeal and bread before. We're not going to bother with that. He's going to suit up and he's going to go swinging around. Now, this suit has a lot of problems. They go very far in this show to tell you that Peter is smart, that he's a genius. But having it, he needs hydraulics to make his web shooter work. So he's got a hydraulic tank on his back and these hoses attached to his really stupid-looking web shooters, and he has to adjust the pressure and this and that. The people who ever came up with this costume design had no idea to possibly realize that dangling hoses with an acrobatic superhero who's usually fighting in close combat, swinging around through shit, that's just going to get caught on something. This is retarded, and I know they're setting up to get the Future Foundation suit, which isn't given to him by the Fantastic Four, but will be given to him by Norman Osborn in this. I know they're setting up, he can have a nice sleek suit there, and they tease it later on, and he's drawing the real suit in the comic, in his pages, this and that. But still, this is retarded. He's going to be wearing this suit for a little while, getting in fights. He already is flipping around doing shit. How is that hose not getting caught on stuff? It's ridiculous. And how does he have time to stop and go, gonna adjust the tanks. How am I gonna do it? This is dumb. It's retarded, but they think it looks quirky and cool. Right. So he's gonna, on the way to school, he's gonna get sidetracked and save Femme Harry Osborn. Race swapped Femme Harry Osborn from a bunch of dudes. And this is also a retarded thing here. So he eventually goes, while he's saving Harry, the thugs who are assaulting him, they're freaking recording it and they're putting their faces on the live stream. What? This is trying to I don't know if they're doing this on purpose to show how stupid they are, or if they have no understanding that streaming TikTok culture is retarded. If they're making fun of it, or they're leaning into it, that, oh, it's hip to record yourself doing shit. Criminals recording themselves will get caught. Now, of course, they get caught because Peter intervenes, saves Fem race swapped Harry with his Afro man bun. And then they're sort of going to be sort of friendly, and he keeps trying to tell him, I'm Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's going to leave, get to school late. He's going to get chastised by his teacher, and he's going to be in the hallway. Nico comes up, and apparently in the past few months, because she now goes to this school too, they're friends, and she's teasing him about being late and this and that. And while they're in the hallway, he bumps into this very tall, butch, ethnically ambiguous chick named Pearl, who we will learn shortly was his babysitter. He has the hots for his babysitter, and Nico makes fun of him for that because he wants to ask her out. Now, clearly, here is Pearl. She is our Gwen Stacy Mary Jane insert. They created an original new romantic interest for Peter, and normally I'd be fine, but she's literally 6 inches taller than he is, has bigger shoulders than he does, and looks like she got beat with the bad animation ugly stick. Really? I mean, I haven't mentioned the bad animation. It's dog shit. I'll just leave it at that. It's flat. It's lifeless. The backgrounds of people doing shit, they do this stupid comic panel overlay shit to try and make you think you're watching a comic book. It's terrible, but I'll leave it at that. So now they have a conversation about what he needs to do to get her attention. And here we learn in a very subtle way that Nico is gay. Yes, that she is gay, because she says, you better get her up because there might be other people in the line to get her. And he goes, wait a minute, are you? I don't know. Nico, So she's gay. He's horny for butch girl. And now the things are going to move on, and he's going to be going on patrol and shit like that. When we get back to the actual stuff, we're back at school. It's a little bit later. Peter does. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Now, sorry. The patrol is actually important. I was going to skip by, but then I remembered it actually is important, because here's where the lack of creativity comes in. That is what this episode is most guilty for. They are literally lifting Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man and putting his basically key moments into this one. Peter's going to excuse himself from class to go help in a police car chase, okay? And during it, he's going to stop an out-of-control car that he made go out of control by swinging in front of it, catching in front of the bus, the exact same clip that we saw in Captain America Civil War when Tony goes to recruit Peter to fight against Cap and his kind of stuff. It's the same clip, and I recognized it instantly. So I thought, oh, they're doing that. Okay, but I thought it stopped there, but oh no, it won't. So after doing that, Peter's like, oh man, if I can do that and stop a car with my bare hands, I can ask Butch Pearl out on a date and convince her that I'm not the little boy she knew. Problem is, when he gets there, Nico stops him at the football field and says, too late. Star quarterback Lonnie Lincoln, we'll get to that in a second. Lonnie Lincoln, oh, he's already swooped in and picked her up. Tough noogies, Pete. 5 minutes later, they're in class. They're going to do some sort of science project partnership for the year, and Peter wants to partner with Butch Pearl. Problem is, Butch Pearl is sitting next to Lonnie, and Lonnie says, hey, I want to partner with Peter, because Lonnie, he's your star, black, handsome, big football player, but he's not just a dumb jock. He's a kind, sensitive dude who wants to broaden his options. He wants to make sure he's not just pigeonholed into being a football player, and that's fine. So him and Pete start to get along a little bit, and Pete gets a man crush on him, and here's where we get silly. Here's where we get your tiny bit of the blatant agenda racism, and if this is the doorway through which we're going to get shit walking through to the rest of the series, bring it on. I'm ready to mock it. Lonnie Lincoln. Now, before we go any further, Lonnie Lincoln, you know who he is? He's Tombstone. This is Tombstone, one of the most eventually feared hitmen under Kingpin's arsenal of dudes, or at sometimes also known as being a petty thug mini criminal of his own with his own gang and crew. Tombstone. So we're going now. I think we're setting up. I'm going to say it here. I think we're setting up where this is going to be a pseudo Peter Harry situation where he has to deal with a friend who turned supervillain, because original Harry is Green Goblin after Norman is Green Goblin. So we're going to have a thing where Peter's going to have to fight his friend who turns into a supervillain. That's where they're going to go with this. There's no way Lonnie doesn't make it out of the season without turning into Tombstone. So Tombstone, Baby Tombstone, we call him Baby Tombstone. Baby Tombstone, we see him walking home. He's walking home, and now while he's walking home, he's all sad and dejected. He's walking to the bad part of the city. We don't know where it is. He gets on the train, and while he's on the train, he's sitting there, all peaceful, doing nothing, looking like a normal dude on a train, and a white woman and her little boy walk up, and the little boy goes to sit there, and the woman goes, no. So, sorry, can't sit next to the random black dude on the train, even though he looks like a normal high school student just sitting there completely harmless. No, little white boy, I won't let you sit next to the black man. And then he gets off the train, and he's walking home, and I said themselves, I shit you not, I said, he's gonna get busted for walking while black, and half a second later, whoop, whoop, here comes the cop car with the white cop eyeballing him while he's walking. So they got in, don't sit next to the black kid on the train, white people, and he's been eyeballed for walking while black. This is great. It's fantastic. Why is this necessary? Why did you have to do this? You painted a picture that he's a nice dude. He goes home to a nice family where there's a dad. I know, shocker. There's a dad in the black home. I know. Wow, they actually didn't go that route. And he's good to his mom. He wants to help them save money, this and that. You could have just done that. No, you had to have a 3 to 4 minute sequence of him walking home and being racismed. Right. So from that point on, the rest of the episode is Pete busts some white chick who robbed a black pizza owner of his tips. And he convinces the black pizza shop owner to let her go because she's on hard times. It's ridiculous and it's sad. And then while Pete is going home, he's in an alley and he's getting his suit back on. He got a free pizza because remember, he gets a free pizza and he finds a DVD player in the alleyway just like Tom Holland's Spider-Man did in the MCU. So we are in this moment where he got a free pizza. He found a perfectly unused DVD player on a dumpster, and he's walking home, best day ever. And you see him walking home, coming home, and he walks in the door, and as it goes in the door, you see there's man hands man on the couch, and for half a second, you see somebody on the couch. I see it. He's black and wearing a green suit, so that makes it not Tony Stark. And he uses the exact same lines that Tom Holland did in Civil War. And then May introduces him the exact same shot-for-shot moment to introduce who's sitting there, only it's not Tony Stark. As I said, it's race-swapped Norman Osborn. And then the episode ends. So you see what I was saying? This episode is creatively bankrupt, not only because they had to get in unnecessary racisms, but they literally have cut and pasted Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man origin into this one. You didn't need to do an origin at all. You didn't do it at all. So clearly, right away, race-swapped Norman Osborn knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man because they're doing the exact same thing that Tony Stark did in Civil War in the real MCU. All right, that's it. And of course, I have to mention, Peter's the only white kid in his school. I didn't see any other white kids. Only white boy. Oh, the writing is pedestrian. As I said, the animation is dog shit. It's terrible. They keep inserting bad hip hop into the show whenever possible. And it's now got, I guess, I don't know how many more episodes. We have episode number 2. I'll be back with that one tomorrow, where I already know, because I saw a screen cap. I know the next race swap that is coming. I know it, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to lean into that one, because they cannot help themselves. Not only did they race swap it, they gender swapped it too. Anyway, so we are done with this one. As I said, not the agenda-driven mess I thought it was going to start off as, but the seeds are all planted. Uncreative, agenda, racism, gaiety, all kinds of good stuff. We're going to go forward. Thank you for watching this review. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.